It's took people 40 minutes to get here from Mumps this evening. Duncan Platt. John Fieldhouse with what looks like another new haircut. Keith Newton. Conditions so much better for rugby than they were last time the two teams met in a cup competition when Wigan just won. Kick coming in early from Duncan Platt, but Steve Hampson positions himself straight up to Michael Ford. Takes him down at Henderson Gill. Plays so few games in recent times for Wigan that everyone must be looked on as a comeback. Edwards, Gildart. Ball comes out, picked up by Andy Ruane. Michael Ford. Referee not happy with something Sean Edwards has done. Not quite sure what. It's nice to know your electricity bills go to sponsor Wigan. Nearly days, Leo takes it up strongly. Taken by Platt, Davidson, Gildart. Fieldhouse of the posts. Allen props back towards the post. Runs into Goodway. Davidson. Platt. Michael Ford drops a goal. Ruane. Leo Casey coming straight. Quick play the ball. Fieldhouse. Mike Ford. Brett Clark. Keith Newton, but Wigan defence up quick as you'd expect a top first division defence to be. Cogger from acting halfback. Brett Clark. And it's a try. The ever reliable Steve Hampson makes a mess of it. But I think it's John Fieldhouse who follows up to go in for the try. That's rather quiet in the Wigan support. And indeed, that's his first try of the season. First try for Oldham. Takes Oldham into a 5-0 lead after just as many minutes played. Wigan coach John Mooney said before the game he'd never seen water sheddings. We might remember these first 5 minutes. Dermott attacks in half-back, feeds Edwards. Going crossfield. Brings Hampson on a straight ball. Out to Dean Bell. Dean Bell. Dean Bell well tackled by Duncan Platt. And that's fifth tackle. Preston. Hampson. Goulding. Edwards. They've got men over if they can get the ball there. Davidson. Davidson well tackled by Richard Irvine. So that's sixth tackle. Handover. Wigan look to have a four-man overlap, but not able to capitalise on it. Couldn't move the ball quickly enough. Ruane himself from acting half-back. Ball slides loose, picked up by Ford. Ruane for the left-hand touchline. Two straight. Hampson takes it, comes back left, a lot of support. Andy Goodway brushes off Paul Lord, finds Mark Preston. Some would say he's as fast as a fire, is Preston. Goulding, Edwards, long ball to Bell. Bell dances away from Clark. Blake pulled down. Oldham caught offside in front of a post. In fact, not in front of a post. It's Paul Lord out on Oldham's right wing. Right-footed. Puts it just inside the upright. So after 11 minutes play, the score's Oldham 5, Wigan 2. Oldham player stood offside in the backs according to the touch judge. Duncan Platt. Back to Brett Clark. Nowhere really to go then. Platt attacked in half-back. Finds Andy Ruane. Keith Newton going straight through the Wigan defence. And through Steve Hampson. And he's over. Slid over under his own momentum, says referee Whitfield. Been playing 14 minutes, and who can believe it? Oldham have scored a second try. And take a 9-2 lead. And the Oldham section in this large crowd go wild. With a stop of the clock from Mr. Whitfield. Left-footed. And he does. Score 15 minutes played, Oldham 11. Wigan 2. Dermot goes himself. Nowadays, I think it's fair to say that Dermot, the more athletic looking of the two old Wigan hookers. Andy Platt busts through the centre. Brett Clark hangs on. And that'll be a penalty to Wigan for offside. And he slots it between. Front rows nearly came together that time. Bell. Nailed by Platt. Goulding, Hampson coming up fast from fullback to Goodway. Lord comes in to take him. Holds him up long enough for Fieldhouse to get in. And then gets back to knock him down. Byrne. It's round Cargill, but then caught from behind by the same player. Goulding. Platt. Bell, they've got men and gaps. Blake pursued. Henderson Gill. Bell. Martin Dermot. Sean Edwards, they've got 3 men over. Steve Hampson. And he somehow doesn't get over the line. Wigan got 3, if not 4 men over. Steve Hampson's hurt him there. Plays the ball. Bobby Goulding. That's 5th tackle. Edwards. Byrne. Platt. Platt to Bell. Bell to Blake, and Blake surely got to be in. Sean Edwards misses again, or misses for the first time. Oldham still have a 3-point lead. About 5.5, 6 minutes left to half. Clark. Gary Hyde settles it. Martin Dermot did his best, I think, then to hook the ball out of Michael Ford's hands. Ford dummies one, but he's taken by Jed Byrne. John Cogger from acting half-back. Making yardage, but perhaps not exploiting as bigger gaps as he does against some teams. Andy Ruane running. That's 40 minutes up on my watch. Steve Robinson, ankle tapped on 5th tackle. Oldham leading by 11 points to 8. Michael Ford, I would think that'll still be last tackle. I can't believe he's wiped that. Wrong again. The hootenillier, Sean Allen, Brett Clark. Jed Byrne slow to get off. Had 30 seconds of injury time so far, John Fieldhouse. Trying to get on with it quickly. Ruane. Back to Ford. Ford got Hyde with him. And there indeed's Vahuta. End of a very entertaining first half. Oldham leading by 11 points to 8. Platt's not come out for the second half for Oldham. Gary Hyde's gone to full-back. Would look like Russell's gone to centre and Gary Hyde's gone to full-back. Wigan look, I'll say I've got Stasica back, but I'm not quite sure who's gone off. Platt, one-handed out to Bell. Edwards, superb pick-up, flick out. Knock on by Blake. I'd be very surprised if Martin Dermott as Wigan's hooker saw that. Phil Blake. Knocked down by Gary Hyde once. Out to Preston, who's put into touch by Richard Irvine. Go down, in and out to Oldham. Gary Hyde up from full-back. Fieldhouse, pursued by Gildart, puts him down. Ruane without his head guard this second half. Ruane for this touchline, not quite angled enough. Steve Hampson whirls round, heads for his left wing, straightens up down the middle, steps out of a tackle from Mike Ford. John Cogger, Keith Newton, Davidson. Stasica. Pulled down by Clark. Goulding sells a dummy. Races through, he's got Edwards with him. And Edwards is in. Goulding about 40 yards out. Dummy drop off. Gap opened up, which he went through. And right-footed. Puts Wigan into a 3-point lead. Ford chipping. Tandy Platt hangs on to that one. Quick reactions from Wigan's Platt. Bell from acting halfback. Goulding. Edwards. Edwards to Preston. Preston are quickly covering Ruane. And Gary Hyde made sure he didn't make it, but it was tremendously close. Leo Casey up quick, but very quick. Goulding still bouncing towards that Oldham line. In defence. Long pass. Stasica. Cross kicking. Edwards bearing up on it. Michael Ford takes no chances and kicks the ball dead. Hampson got Goodway with him. Cries of obstruction, but I don't think it ever quite got to that. Davidson. Push down. About 10 yards into the Oldham 25. Platt. Ball ripped out by Keith Newton. Ruane. Irvine winds up. Fieldhouse into Stasica and Platt. Leo Casey. Mike Ford. Brett Clark. Oldham got players over. Paul Lord on the straight run. Ford. To Ruane. Waiting reception committee on the 25. Cogger. Ford. Lobbed pass out to Paul Lord, who picks it well off his bootstraps. Attempts to kick for himself, but the Wigan covers there first. Fine tackle from John Fieldhouse. And Richard Irvine. Oldham in the right half, or the right quarter of the field at the moment. Platt. Leo Casey slow to get up from that one. And that's fifth tackle. Oldham have kept him in well. Edwards with the kick. Hoyce. Gary Hyde backs off. Uses the Duncan Platt method of letting it bounce. Falls to Blake. Quickly arriving, or lately arriving. Robinson. Put down by Goulding. Quickly up. Richard Russell. Ball comes loose in the tackle and Henderson Gill comes away. Feeds Sean Edwards. Sean Edwards lobs a pass out to Mark Preston, who can't hold it, so it'll be a scrum down. Oldham head and ball. Oldham's head and ball. Clark away. Links to Irvine. Irvine away from Blake. Goodway covering. Good tackle from Goodway. Fine run from Irvine. Michael Ford. Just unable to get it out to Steve Robinson as Henderson Gill lies hurt on the floor and the Oldham roar goes up. Clark. John Cogger. John Fieldhouse in a bit of space. Fieldhouse onto Richard Russell. Russell to Mike Ford. And Mike Ford's in. 30 minutes played. And Oldham retake the lead with a Mike Ford try. After fine play by John Fieldhouse. Richard Russell the link. And it looked like he could almost have got there himself. But it ends up with Mike Ford diving over about 6-7 yards to the left-hand side of the post to put Oldham into a 15 points to 14 lead. Gary Hyde makes no mistake. Now it's Oldham leading by 3 points. Bobby Goulding gone hooking. Hampson really wanted to pass to Blake, but Blake was stood in front of him. Brett Clark's not too happy about that one. Phil Blake. Davidson slips. Gets up, but still doesn't get there. Blake, long pass across field. Picked up by Goodway. Goodway from the post with Henderson Gill inside him. Amazing pressure on this Oldham line. Edwards. Dummies one way. Brings Dean Bell. Jed Byrne. Byrne pulled down. Richard Irvine. Andy Platt for the line. And he's in. Right-footed. The touch judges. The roar says it all. It's the Oldham roar. Wigan 18, Oldham 17. 15 minutes left to play. Goulding to Davidson. Davidson for the posts. Fieldhouse hangs on. Ruane and Newton knock him down. But Edwards comes back to Blake. Goes himself. Richard Russell, who must have played at least a few games with Sean Edwards, doesn't fall for any of that, puts him down. Goulding. Nowhere to go there. A lot of white and red. Edwards. Andy Platt again. Wigan got men over as Platt tries to make a bust. But Clark and Sean Allen put him down. Edwards yet again. Blake. Gildart coming into the line on a short ball. Fine tackle from John Fieldhouse, and that's fifth yet again. Phil Blake kicks for himself. Steve Robinson doesn't stand on any great ceremony. And plants the ball over the dead ball line. But it means Oldham are going to have to drop out yet again. Giving the ball back to Wigan. Giving them a chance to put even more pressure on Oldham. Oldham still by 1 point in front. We've around about 10 minutes left to play. Mike Ford drops out. Jed Byrne plays soccer, picks up. Davidson suggests they play 6 out. Stasica from acting half-back. Fairbank reaches those long arms out and drags him down. Goulding tries to go through the same gap and manages it, falling, but doesn't make much yardage. Edwards stacked in half-back. Feeds Davidson. Fairbank. Newton knock him down. So much as ever going through Sean Edwards. Edwards goes himself for the post. And that's fifth tackle again. Goulding dummies. Kicks. And Fieldhouse picks up. Oldham survive those 6. John Fairbank winds up. Edwards. Must have been Gildart, because this is Goodway. Goodway palms it back to Blake. Blake one-handed taunts Oldham almost. Then feeds Andy Ruane. Richard Irvine into Ian Gildart. Certainly been an entertaining game. Played at incredible pace throughout. About 5 minutes left to play. Oldham still down by this 1 point, but in the wrong half. Sean Allen thinks to put it back, but discretion is considered better. Ford, Clark, short ball to Keith Newton, back to Brett Clark. Clark pushed through a gap, feeds John Fieldhouse. Fieldhouse pulled down by Gildart, and then pushed back down again. The question is, can Gary Hyde kick the goal? Well, he's sent for the sand. Could almost be this for a final place. Right footed from Gary Hyde, Barrow says it. And with less than 4 minutes to play, Oldham go back in front. And the Oldham roar really goes up this time. Kicked off. And that's a scrum down. Fairbank at number 8 for Oldham. Mike Ford nearly finds the scrum. It goes down. Ford into Blake. 37 minutes gone. Steve Robinson. Are we about to see yet another famous victory in a cup game against Wigan? Fairbank. And the ref says you're okay. Fairbank. And he sent Sean Edwards off. Sean Edwards sent off for tripping. Gary Hyde again, right-footed. This one goes away, but it goes dead. So it's a dropout. 38.5 minutes. This is a case of stuff the ball up your jumper. And that row says everything. It's in Oldham hands is the ball. This is the genuine nothing silly time. Keith Newton from acting half-back. Andy Ruane finds John Fairbank. Fairbank stumbles forward into the Wigan defence. In the last minute of the game, Leo Casey. They've made an appeal that nobody goes on the pitch after the game. This should be worth watching. Sean Allen. Fifth tackle. Mike Ford chipping for himself. A superb take yet again from Steve Hampson. Oldham have got to keep Wigan in this half. At virtually any cost now. Attention. Stasica. Andy Goodway said they dreaded coming here because they didn't know what could happen. And that's 40 minutes up on my watch. There's not been much injury time. Wigan furiously trying to get out, trying to keep the ball alive. The next tackle could be it. Goodway sweeps down the side, throws the ball in, and Richard Russell films up with it. And the hooter's gone. The hooter's undoubtedly gone on the far side of the pitch. There's no chance of a referee here, and he's given a penalty. Oldham would rather say fair enough. Take a tap and a drive. Nothing silly. Sean Allen down injured. Nobody seems to be very interested in him. Surely this will just be one drive and that's it. Oldham into this final of the Lancashire Cup. Andy Ruane. And that's it. 41.5 minutes showing on the watch. And Oldham have done it again. They've beat Wigan in a major cup competition here at Watersheddings. 19 points to 18.